Let's get ready to TBR Jams. Hi everybody, who's ready for a June TBR? I'm very excited. I love to play my TBR game. Sometimes I like to play it early. If you are new here, welcome to the shelves of chaos. There's a lot that goes into this. There is dice rolling, there is wheel spinning, there is coin flipping, there is bottle spinning, pet picking, whatever. Lots of random things can happen in this game. Anything can happen, one might say. It is a chaotic time. Now, I have mentioned previously that I need your input for a thing, and that is revolving around a book review. So, I am now opening up a poll in the comments after you see all of the books that are chosen this month. I would like for you to vote for your top 2 you would like to see a reading vlog about. Alright? And I just want to do more dedicated reviews. And I don't know how many I will pick, but based on votes, obviously the number 1 will get it, and if I have more time, I'll trickle down and do more. But I just want to do more reviews in general and be a better book reviewer, because sometimes I struggle with doing reviews and finding out what the best format is, and I'm just gonna wing it and go for it and do longer reviews for specific books rather than just all the reviews. I mean, I'll still have those in the stats, the short reviews, which I'm going to make shorter, I promise. But for now, put it in the comments what you want to see as a book review, a dedicated book review. Let us begin. Now, I am in the middle of a readathon right now. There is a readathon called Bookland Arcade that goes from the 20th of May to the 20th of June. And I have picked out those books. I have marked the shelves that have those books so I remember to try and grab that book. But obviously we'll have the rest of June as well to get through. Usually there's also Whatever-a-thon, but I've heard no announcement about Whatever-a-thon, which is sad because I already put a spot for it in my Bujo, but now that spot is just empty. But I do want to read a lot of queer books in June for Pride. That's what's happening. So, let us begin. The first thing that we do is pick a die. In this bag, I have dice that range from a D8 all the way to a D24. I will choose at random, and I will roll that die to decide how many books are on my TBR in June. Makes sense? No, of course it doesn't. Nothing I do makes sense. All right, and I'm not gonna fiddle around. Like, I can fiddle around right now and be like, I'm shuffling them, but I'm not gonna fiddle around in there. I'm just gonna pick and grab as I always do. Ready? 3, 2, 1, this one. Oh God, what did I pick? I picked a D12. It's a D12. It is my baby Triceratops. I think we got baby Triceratops last time too. And now we're going to roll it. Now, if I roll a 4 or lower, I have to roll again. FYI. I have to have at least a 5 book TBR. Cool? All right, let's find out. All right, let's find out. We say, I don't know. Oh my God, is it 11? I think it says 11. I'll try to dig it out. It says 11! 11 books, all right. So we have an 11 book TBR, which is actually like my halfway point. I read on average right now 22 books a month. That's what I'm averaging. So actually probably more because yeah, we're gonna say average of 22 books a month. So I will halfway pick my TBR in this game. Alrighty, and right here is Quirmy. This is me in worm form, and she moves around my shelves. All of my shelves are chaosified. There is no rhyme or reason as to why these are like this, and actually I will be shuffling them again after this TBR. Not like today, but for quarter 3 I shuffle them every quarter. Just FYI. I might do that live. Do you guys want to see that live? Let me know. Put that in the comments too, along with the book review you want. Quirmy will move based on rolling the D24. So without further ado, which I've said already several times this video, let's go to roll number 1. Roll number 1. 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Which of course does not include a book I need to read. Here is the shelf in question. Woo, yes. I am still trying to read a lot of sequels and stuff, but I think I only have this one to do. So, or like series. That's a companion series. Nobody else though. So that's great. And now we move to the wheel. Spin number 1. Oh no, biggest book or smallest book? I really hope there's not a classic, I didn't look. Well, it's easy to see who's the biggest book and easy to see who's the smallest book. Smallest book on the shelf is The Rakshasa's Bride by Susanna Rowantree. This is actually the first one in these fairy tale retold series. They're little tiny novellas. I read actually the last one because it came in a book box, and then I went and found the rest of them. So that's the smallest. And then the biggest one is The Shadow of What Was Lost by James Islington. Islington? And this baby this is the extras, hold on. We don't want the extras. 693 pages with the extras over 700, which actually is a prompt for the readathon, is over 700 pages. But that's some good flop to it. But I really hope it's this one. So in order to decide this, we flip a coin. If I get rough seas on the coin, I have to read this. If I get smooth sailing, I get to read this. Let's find out. Alrighty, please be nice to me. Holy crap, it's nice. You see that, right? It's nice. We're off to a good start. It's the tiny book, which is also an indie. Oh, I'm really happy. Oh God, is the game gonna do the thing where it lulls me into a sense of security and then gives me Moby Dick? No, it can't give me Moby Dick again. It's okay, Moby Dick is gone now. All right, here's what this one is about. What if it was Beauty who was cursed, not the Beast? Preeti Kamla has the evil eye. Her bad luck has brought tragedy and disgrace upon her once wealthy family. But when a handsome stranger promises to break her curse, Preeta almost believes him, until a twist of fate whisks her away from everything she knows, and the gruesome demon Raja claims her as his bride. Sorry, that was really hard to read. It's very tiny and very small. Very, very faint print on this one. But hey. Woo! Right, off to a good start. Good start. Good start. Hey, roll number 2. Roll number 2 is 2. 2. 1, 2. Also, does not have a book I need to read on it. Here we have, okay, any sequels? No sequels. Okay, good fun time. To the wheel. All right, spin number 2. Oh, it was almost big in a book. We get a card though. It's a card. From the Phoenix Bag, which is available on my Ko-fi shop. There's a very limited supply. Go check it out now. Ko-fi.com/StephanieGillis. A bunch of prompt cards. So we will see if we can get a card that matches a book on the shelf we have landed on. And that is Royalty. A book with royalty, which I think I did see some. We've only got one option on that shelf, and that is The Queen of Blood by Sarah Beth Durst. I have owned this book forever. I've owned the whole trilogy forever. Here's what it's about. Everything has a spirit. The willow tree with leaves that kiss the pond, the stream that feeds the river, the wind that exhales fresh snow. But the spirits that reside within this land want to rid it of all humans. One woman stands between these malevolent spirits and the end of humankind, the Queen. She alone has the magical power to prevent the spirits from destroying every man, woman, and child. But queens are still only human, and no matter how strong or good they are, the threat of danger always looms. Because the queen's position is so precarious, young women are specially chosen to train as her heirs. Delina, a seemingly quiet academy student, is under no illusions as to her claim to the throne, but simply wants to right the wrongs that have befallen the land. Meanwhile, the disgraced champion Ven has spent his exile secretly fighting against the growing number of spirit attacks. When Delina and Ven join forces, these daring partners embark on a treacherous quest to find the source of the spirits' restlessness, a journey that will test their courage and trust, and force them to stand against both enemies and friends to save their land before it's bathed in blood. That seems fun. Roll number 3 after royalty. I don't know. It's late. I'm sorry. I'm doing this very late. Roll number 3. 21. Finally, some movement.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Another shelf that doesn't. Does not have the thing. It does not have the things. I'm gonna have 0 books that I've marked. All right, here's our shelf right now. we do have series we can continue on the shelf and a couple we can finish. So I'm not too mad about landing here. But will we stay there is the question, because sometimes we don't stay on the shelf we land on. Spin number 3. Oh, double card. Sometimes this is really, really hard. So we're gonna pull 2 cards and both cards must relate to one book. Card number 1 is the least appealing cover and finish a series. I do have some finish a series on this shelf, so I'm gonna go with the least appealing cover between those. All right, I only actually have 2 books that are finish a series on that shelf, and that is A Venom Dark and Sweet by Judy I. Lin and This Vicious Cure by Emily Suvada. We're gonna go with This Vicious Cure because it's less appealing than this beautiful masterpiece. Love the covers. I read the first one and it's decent. It's not fantastic, but we'll see about the sequel. This is also a fun series, fun trilogy. But I do want to just finish it and be done. So, This Vicious Cure. I'm not going to read you the synopsis because that would be spoilers, but it is about a world ravaged by a plague that explodes people. It's weird, but kind of cool. And hackers. Lots of hackers and weird data pad things that are like implanted into your arms. It's a weird one. Roll number 4. Roll number 4. 13.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Also does not have a special marker on it. This is what we're working with. We do have a series to finish right here. Series to continue. That's about it. Technically I can start this, but I really shouldn't have put it on the shelf. So this one's kind of vetoed until I read Shadow of Kyoshi. I know I don't have to read Shadow of Kyoshi to read that because that's the start of a whole other duology, but I feel bad about how long I've owned Shadow of Kyoshi. So I really should pull that from the shelf. Spin number 4. A card. And the card says, next in line wishes to read the next book in a series. The Soul of Stars would be finishing. We're gonna go with Enna Burning by Shannon Hale, which is the next book in the Books of Bayern. Hooray! Continuing series. No, this one I can read because they're all kind of companions, so this one we can tell you the description of. Enna's brother Leifer has found the secret to an extraordinary power, to make fire without a spark. He can use the ability for good, if he learns to control it. But Enna can't decide if it's a power she wants for herself or one that should be extinguished forever. When their home country of Bayern goes to war, the choice becomes unbearable. Enna never imagined the warm, life-giving energy of fire could destroy anything she loves. But now she must try to save Bayern and herself before fire consumes her entirely. Enna did appear in the first book, but she was like a side character. I don't have an audiobook for it though. For some reason, Libby jumps. It does the first book and then it does the 3rd and the 4th book, but no second book. For some odd reason. I don't know why. Really doing well with the readathon TBR. I can switch out a lot of the ones that are not set in stone, and a lot of these will fulfill stuff in the prompts, but you know. Roll number 5. Roll number 5 says we got 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Nope. But we're right back on the shelf we started on. Right back here, so it gives the Shadow of What Lost another chance to ruin my life. If we land on biggest book, smallest book again though, like, something's cursed. Spin number 5. Just a card. Just a card, we're good. But watch, the card says biggest book. And the card is sci-fi. Just a sci-fi. Do I have sci-fi on this shelf? We're gonna go with Battle of the Linguist Mages by Scotto Moore. Not Scott Moore, it's Scotto. This is kind of sci-fi. It deals with like video game VR stuff, which I think does fit the video game or the sci-fi genre. But that's the only sci-fi on that shelf. Here we go. We've got, in modern-day Los Angeles, a shadowy faction led by the governor of California develops the arcane art of combat linguistics, planting the seeds of a future totalitarian empire. Isabel is the queen of the medieval rave-themed VR game Sparkle Dungeon. Her prowess in the game makes her an ideal candidate to learn the secrets of power morphemes, unnaturally dense units of meaning that warp perception when skillfully pronounced. But Isabel's reputation makes her the target of a strange resistance movement led by spell-casting anarchists, who may be the only thing stopping a cabal from toppling California over the edge of a terrible transformation with 40 million lives at stake. Time is short for Isabel to level up and choose a side, because that cabal has attracted much bigger and weirder enemies than the anarchist resistance, emerging from dark and vicious dimensions of reality and heading straight for planet Earth. Okay, yes, definitely sci-fi. But also, I'm a linguist, like that's my degree, so this should be super fun. Roll number 6.
Roll number 6 says... also 8.
A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
You want to guess if it has a special tag on it? Because it doesn't. This is where we have a lot to continue on. Well, all right, we have 2. We have 2 books we can continue on this shelf. And that's Song Rising and Aces and Eights. So let's find out. To the reel. Spin number 6. Oh, categories. All right, we're gonna roll the categories, and I will try either by author name or title to match the letter that we get to a book on that shelf. We'll find out.
But this one doesn't get the tower because it don't fit. Here we go. A P? P?
The only book with a P on it is Ashley Poston's Among the Beast and Briars, which I got in Owl Crate a long time ago. I haven't had an Owl Crate subscription in a couple years now. It is signed. It is indeed signed. It does have a reversible lovely jacket riding on a bear. And you know, sprayed edge. It's cute. Very nice. Here's what it's about. Ceres is safe in the kingdom of Aloria. Here there are no droughts, disease, or famine, and peace is everlasting. It has been this way for hundreds of years, since the first king made a bargain with the lady who ruled the forest that borders the kingdom. But as Aloria prospered, the woods grew dark, cursed, and forbidden. Ceres knows this all too well. When she was young, she barely escaped as the woods killed her friends and her mother. Now Ceres carries a small bit of the curse, the magic in her blood, a reminder of the day she lost everything. As a new queen is crowned, however, things long hidden in the woods descend on the kingdom itself. Ceres is forced on the run, her only companions a small and irritating fox from the royal garden and the magic in her veins. It's up to her to find the legendary Lady of the Wilds and beg for a way to save her home. But the road is darker and more dangerous than she knows, and as secrets from the past are uncovered amid the teeth and roots of the forest, it's going to take everything she has just to survive. Ooh, no books on that TBR. No books on that TBR. Hey, hey. Roll number 7.
Roll number 7 says 14.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Hey. If it was one over, we would have gotten one. We are way up top here. No one. No one is a sequel to anything. Okay. Spin number 7. Oh no. Oldest and newest. Alright, so we're back to coin flipping for the oldest and newest book. Let's see what our options are. The oldest book on the shelf is The Angel's Game by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. This is the second book in the Cemetery of Forgotten Books, the first one being Shadow of the Wind, which I read earlier this year. And then we have Prince of Song and Sea by Lindsay Miller, and this is the beginning of, like, we have the Twisted Tales, and this is the first of Princes. And this came out October 4th, 2022. That is the newest on that row. So, rough seas, smooth sailing. Let's find out.
All right, how nice can it be? Actually, it's not a problem because I need to continue a series or read a new book. But of course, it's rough seas.
Oh, goodbye, Eric. I'll get to you. All right. Now, I do think that in this series, they're all kind of companions, so I do think I can read you the synopsis. But this was published in 2009. So, not that old. Not as old as, you know, when it's been giving me all the classics. There we go. At the beginning of this powerful labyrinthian thriller, David Martin, a pulp fiction writer struggling to stay afloat, is holed up in an abandoned mansion in the heart of Barcelona, furiously tapping out story after story, becoming increasingly desperate and frustrated, when he is approached by a mysterious publisher offering a book deal that seems almost too good to be real. David leaps at the chance, but as he begins the work and after a visit to the Cemetery of Forgotten Books, he realizes that there is a connection between his book and the shadows that surround his dilapidated home, and that the publisher may be hiding a few troubling secrets of his own. And that's it. So, cool. Oh, it does the thing where the cover is shorter. I don't, I hate that, but it is very good floppability. That's a good smackable book. Roll number 8.
Roll number 8 says 17.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
There's one on here. There's one on here. There's one on here. The issue is I might already read this book before because I technically, the book I wanted on the game is Beach Read, and I technically already have it, and I might get to it before all of this. But here's what we've got. Big babies, and the battery will be dying soon. Spin number 8. Oh, the TBR bag! We haven't gotten that forever! So what's really funny is that means that shelf is moot! The TBR bag, so every single book that I own is in this, and it's not updated at all. Let's see, what do we get from the TBR bag? The TBR bag is an ebook. It's an indie ebook, and that is Beware the Violet by Maria Vermisoglu. But it is an ebook, it is an indie book, it came out in 2019, and it's 323 pages. It is a standalone according to this, and an adult fantasy. I don't know what it's about off the top of my head, so here's Editing Q to tell you all about Beware the Violet. Hello, I'm Editing Q. Beware the Violet is not a standalone, by the way. It is book 1 of 2 in the Eulogimenoi series. Very weird. This is what it's about. Discovering supernatural creatures are real is one thing, but learning I have powers and learning to use them is quite a feat. My name is Violet Webb. I live in a small town that nearly worships Halloween, but I hate it. I can't wait until I graduate and get as far as I can from the silliness. Everything changed when I followed the White Rabbit. I ended up in a realm full of vampires, fairies, witches, and every creature possible. Oh, did I mention Jacques, the hot shapeshifter with the French accent that makes me see rabbits everywhere? Now what? Some bloody lady of fate gave me a prophecy to get home. The only problem is that I must defeat the darkness before it swallows both of our worlds. That is not a very appealing summary, and I'm not sure why it was on my TBR list. But yeah, I guess we'll read it and find out if it's better than the synopsis. Bye. Woo! Ebook. I'm not excited about that. I really don't like reading ebooks, but I will if I have to. Roll number 9, then.
Roll number 9 says 23.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
The very first shelf, and it's got one. There it is, and the one I was looking at is Driving by Starlight. I forget which prompt that will be, but yes. But here's all the rest of it. So this will go all the way to If We Were Villains. That's where my shelf cutoff is. Let's spin a wheel. Spin number 9. Oh, no. Big and small again. It is not so clear what is the smallest or biggest book on the shelf, so give me a second. So the smallest book on the shelf is Driving by Starlight, which is a book I want to get on the TBR. The biggest book on the shelf is In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune, 420 pages. This is the newest fairy loot, so I won't be mad if I get Rough Seas, but I really would prefer to get this one off of my shelf.
And the coin says Rough Seas. Rough Seas it is. Okay.
Well, In the Lives of Puppets it is. I'm not mad. Again, I'm not mad about it. I would have preferred to get this one done, but I love TJ Klune, so I'm not mad. In a strange little home built into the branches of a grove of trees live 3 robots, fatherly inventor android Giovanni Lawson, a pleasantly sadistic nurse machine, and a small vacuum desperate for love and attention. Victor Lawson, a human, lives there too. They're a family, hidden and safe.
The day Vic salvages and repairs an unfamiliar android labeled Hap, he learns of a shared dark past between Hap and Geo, a past spent hunting humans. When Hap unwittingly alerts robots from Geo's former life to their whereabouts, the family is no longer hidden and safe. Geo is captured and taken back to his old laboratory in the city of Electric Dreams. So together, the rest of Vic's assembled family must journey across an unforgiving and otherworldly country to rescue Geo from decommission, or a worse, reprogramming. Along the way to save Geo, amid conflicted feelings of betrayal and affection for Hap, Vic must decide for himself. Can he accept love with strings attached?
Almost there. Roll number 10.
Roll number 10 says... Does it say 10?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Here are the books on the shelf. Anybody? Anybody? Oh, one continue. Kendra Merritt. Kendra Merritt's there. Which I technically wanted to read a different Kendra Merritt on the TBR, but I'm not mad with any Kendra Merritt book I get. To the wheel. Spin number 10. Just a card. Regular card. And the card is... beginning. We have to start a new series, so no Kendra Merritt. All right, we've got 3 options here. We have Black Sun by Rebecca Rowanhorse. We have Bridgerton, the Duke and I, which I actually really don't want to read this because I have not heard good things about the book series. The show I love, but the books are not diverse, and there's some sketchy stuff that happens in these, but that might happen. Or we have a chonker, and that is Realmbreaker by Victoria Aveyard. I have not read anything by Victoria Aveyard before. I've not read Red Queen, but I did find this one because it looked interesting enough. So, in the order I found them in, we have 1, 2, and 3. We're gonna roll my 3-sided die for this one. You're wondering, a 3-sided die is technically a D6. It just says 1, 2, 3 over it twice.
All right, please don't be 2. Please don't be 2. What are you? Oh, it's 3. Oh, but that's chonky.
All right, here is what Realmbreaker is about. Oh, it's so shiny. This is very difficult to read. Save the world or end it. A strange darkness is growing in the ward. Even Coraine and Amarad can feel it, tucked away in her small town at the edge of the sea. Fate knocks on her door in the form of a mythical immortal and a lethal assassin, who tell Coraine that she is the last of an ancient lineage, with the power to save the world from destruction. Because a man who would burn kingdoms to the ground is raising an army unlike any seen before, bent on uprooting the foundations of the world. With poison in his heart and a stolen sword in his hand, he'll break the realm itself to claim it, and only Coraine can stop him. Alongside an unlikely group of reluctant allies, Coraine finds herself on a desperate journey to complete an impossible task, with untold magic singing in her blood and the fate of the world on her shoulders. Chunky book. How big are you? 563 is how big this chunky baby is. And on to our final roll, roll number 11.
Roll number 11. 1.
1! 1! And of course it doesn't have a thing. Here is the shelf. A bunch of my new stuff is here. But I kind of am hoping for this. I really need to read this. Let's see what the wheel says. All right, wheel, be nice to me. Well, that's a card. Okay. And the card says... What does the card say? Sorry, that's bad. Deckled. Deckled edges. Let's find out. All right, I knew we'd get some form of a classic, but I'm not mad. We have Princess Bride by William Goldman. These are semi-deckled. They're fairly deckled edges. I would definitely say that they are. But yeah, this is the fancy edition of it. Yay! Princess Bride. My ex-boyfriend got this for me. I got a fancy thing out of that relationship. Hooray. The only good thing to come out of that. I don't know if I want to audiobook this or if I want to read it physically, but it is like, that's hefty to read. That's a big, big baby book, so Princess Bride. Can you believe it? And that's the TBR. Oh, this is an arm workout. I'll hold these. These are heavy books. But that's the TBR. All right, so which of these would you like to see, top 2 that you want to see a reading vlog for? Put that in the comments right now. These are your options. Don't forget the ebook. But yeah. None of them were for the TBR. None, not a single one, which means, as it is still May right now, I'm gonna zoom through as many as I can for the TBR game, for the readathon, because none of those were on my list. I'm not totally mad. I do like the fact that I don't have an Uber classic. This is the first month that has not happened. The most classic-y we have is Princess Bride and the Angels Game. But Princess Bride is definitely the oldest book on this shelf, I think. When was Princess Bride made? Hold on. 1973. Yeah, 1973. That's the oldest book on the TBR this month. That's way better than all the Dickens and all the Dick that I've been having to read this year. So I'm not too upset with that. Cool. What are you guys reading in June? Are you doing any readathons in this month? Let me know in the comments below. Pick the 2 that you want to see a reading vlog of. And there was another thing that I told you to vote on, but I forgot what I said in the beginning of the video. Hi, ADHD brain. Cool. All right. Check out the cover page down below and all that jazz. And I'm going to go now. Bye. To the bookshelves, to the wheel. Mom, what are you doing? No chewing on the door. That's not allowed. We are not chewing on doors. No. Okay, that's fine. You can go over there. Eat the Miller moth, will you? Be of use in this house. Where does it actually start? It's restlessness. Royalty. We have some royalty. So bend to her cage, 'cause she won't stop chewing on my bathroom door and wall. 10, 11, wait, yeah. And our final roll.